You can see when my videos follow each other by what I'm wearing because I like to do about 3 or 4 in a row sometimes. And I usually pick up a thread and just keep going on videos. So if I'm wearing the same clothes, you can guarantee that I'm picking up where I left off on the last one and continuing on for this one. So in the last one, I talked about how to experience heaven on earth, and go back and listen to that if you are curious about that. But it's funny because when we then are in this present moment and realizing how perfect it is in this moment, and we're not getting hooked up in all these silly thoughts and listening to all these silly thoughts about, judging things or wishing things to be different, then what naturally starts to happen is you realize that everything is prayer. Everything you say is prayer. Every action you take is prayer. Typically, the way I grew up and my understanding with prayer being very church based was that I prayed to God. So there was me praying to God, usually to look after the family and friends and help us, right? The true form of prayer would be actually resting into God and connecting with God, and not actually asking for anything, not trying to take anything, but in fact giving. So if you could see that when we give up the thinking and we stop thinking, that now I'm just resting here in this moment, naturally all my actions is about service and giving, because I'm full and complete in this moment, and I'm not actually, hell bent on trying to change everything or trying to accumulate more for me, protect me and make me better, protect my life, my home, myself, my everything. That's what we tend to do. We're protecting ourselves constantly, right? But and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you were, you get caught up in a frenzy with that, and then that becomes your focal point. But if your focal point is actually resting in God now, then when you buy things or do things, it's coming from a different platform. It's actually coming from this joy of experiencing life, of connection with God. So then everything is actually living in this prayer form, because it actually is recognizing God in all things. If you do recognize God in all things, and you are very conscious of this moment and aware of the non-duality of things, then true prayer is actually this living expression. Whatever you say is enhancing God, enhancing the divine. Your intention is to uplift and to inspire and to share. And so you're sharing the good, or whatever you call the divine. So prayer becomes this living experience rather than this asking for something to a God that's somewhere else. Me asking God out there for something is completely different from me resting into the eternal experiencing of the infinite now, and living that, surrendering to that, being a part of that, playfully stepping out into my life now. Prayer becomes this ongoing expression of who you are. It's so fascinating, the difference, and how so beautiful when you experience it for yourself. It's like night and day. The concepts are like so bland and so empty compared to the fullness of living God now.